A lot of people ask me, should I be an entrepreneur? Should I start a company? And I was thinking there's actually a very simple answer to that is, do you either love David Goggins or do you love Tony Robbins or both? And why do I say that? I think it's one of the most easy heuristics to ask yourself and test for yourself whether early stage entrepreneurship is right for you. So, on the one hand, you've got David Goggins, who's got this brutal story of upbringing from his childhood and found this path of transforming this almost unbelievable story of pain in his life into being the highest self he could be and just pushing through the pain and like leaning into the pain, finding the biggest challenges and then pushing past it. And then Tony Robbins on the other side is all about getting into a beautiful state. So it's sort of, we're wired as human beings to be triggered by our childhood patterns and these beliefs, all this kind of stuff. But it's like snap out of it, build yourself the capacity, build the muscle to, in a moment, train yourself to snap into the best mind state that you can possibly do. And then live life from there, make decisions, take actions, lead teams, whatever you're doing from that place. It sounds like two different schools of thought, but they actually lead you to the same place. And that place is there is always a higher level in life. And Tony Robbins says this directly, but you're either growing or dying. There's no status quo. You might trick yourself or have that belief that you're sort of at this plateau and you're just sort of coasting. You're either growing or dying. Number two, you're never done. Life is this constant journey where you reach another level and then inevitably you're going to get more challenges. If your health is great, you're going to maybe get a financial challenge. If your finances are great, maybe you get a career challenge. All that is put together in this temporarily great status quo. You'll get a challenge with your relationships or with your kids or with your health or with your parents or with an earthquake or whatever it is. This is the human existence that we live in. And in the end, really screw everyone else. You are your own benchmark. Stop looking at others, but put on those horse blinders and benchmark yourself only to yourself. What is the highest level? And how does this apply to startups? Well, the only reason you should ever start a startup is if you have a real problem that you're really passionate about and that you absolutely love the challenge. Because for folks that have never actually run a startup, it's easy to be like, oh, I need to have grit. Oh, I need to have this. Honestly, you will never, ever, ever understand what it's like to be in the arena as an early stage founder until you go through the fire yourself. And everyone's journey is different, but typically everyone's going to go through their own version of hell, their own version of fire. And if you can transform that challenge into a gift where you actually enjoy it and look at it as an opportunity for growth, and doors are opening and doors are closing and things are happening for your own growth, that's when you're going to love the process of running an early stage startup. So there's no shame, no issue with not having that mindset or not being called to that kind of path at this point in your life or in your life at all. The world, we're beautifully wired to be different, to have different preferences, different desires, to be inclined in different ways. But if there's something kind of pulling you towards startups and you're just not digging David Goggins or not digging Tony Robbins or whatever the feminine equivalent of that is, because those are both very masculine role models, then join a later stage startup. Join something at Series B, Series C, that got product market fit, or sort of a larger Series A, where you can have a lot of the uncertainty, a lot of the growth, a lot of the putting the parachute together as you're jumping out of the plane, but you've got a little bit more of a platform built already. But if you love Goggins or love Robbins and or both, and you want to dig into that challenge, and you've got something you really, really want to do, be an entrepreneur. And you'll find that there will be no other path that will be both as challenging and as satisfying as starting a company if you're cut from that cloth. So I hope whoever needed to hear that message today heard it and have a wonderful day.